experience, what are your preferred places for killing people?
My preferred places? Catch them coming out of the girl's place.
On the street?
Right on the street. Because generally it's 2 or 3 in the morning. And if I use a silencer, nobody's going to hear nothing. If I don't use a silencer, they're going to think it's a backfire anyway. How many people you know are going to get out of a sound sleep?
What do you use to kill?
38. Sometimes it's a 32 automatic.
Where do you get the gun?
Oh, that's easy. I can get you all the guns you want within 5 minutes of where we are.
And after the killing, you dispose of them?
Oh, yeah. Because without the gun, they got no weapon. Without no weapon, they got no charge.
A murder charge can't stand if they can't find a murder weapon.
That is correct.
And where have you killed people? In front of the girl's apartment? Gas stations?
Gas stations. Swampland. Small town. Big cities.
Restaurants?
Restaurants. Warehouses.
The movies show us The Godfather, for example. A person walking into a restaurant. Mob killing another. What about the crowd? What about identification?
Well,
what about
that's about the only accurate thing that I can remember about the picture. Because nobody in the right mind, nobody can give you a description. It's almost impossible. Because when people hear that loud noise, they hit the floor. And they hit it quick. And they're not going to look up to become heroes to see what you look like. They're only hoping that no bullets come their direction. Okay.
You've never, ever had a moment's conscience about it? Or
No.
A moment's...
It's a job, that's it. Just like you're sitting there doing your job. It's a job. That's what I'm paid for.
But when you do your job, that person that you do the job on will never love anybody, never laugh, never live a moment longer.
That's right.
You're doing unhuman things. You're doing the things that animals, not many animals kill each other, their own kind. You know?
Okay, I'm doing what I'm paid to do.
Couldn't you be paid interesting money doing something else?
Like what? Push-ups?
Is it really a criminal charge to slice another man's face like Al Capone and leave him with a permanent scar? With a hacksaw we chopping off your arms for stealing from the boss, whether you like it or not. Retaliate and shoot back at the cops. Gun battles that never stop, more bodies that need to drop. Straight to the floor, holding secret meetings behind metal doors when I speak in metaphors. Fighting in this mental war, living by the code of death. As a mafia hitman always needs to clean up his steps, while deadly silence is kept, with the silencer placed upon your head. With one eye opened he slept, holding on his peace, willing to shoot any sucker up on the streets. The hunger for the cash is deep. Another beast has been formed. In the eye of the criminal storm, you've been warned not to knock on the boss's door.
I transported narcotics and diamonds. I've been a bookmaker. I've done all these things.
So you
but the basis of whatever thing I have done has been the fact because I am a hitman. That is why I get these positions. A lot quicker than a lot of other people.
But it isn't money. And you must get a
It is money. That's what I'm in business for.
The substance of organized crime has been laid, and what a glorious day for the underboss who's getting made soon to awake, lying with his brains buried alive in a desert in some unknown shallow grave. More drug money needs to be paid. To the head of the snake, towards the Vatican they pray. Like John Gotti in search of all the power and the fame, arised amongst the Cambino family where he made his name. He was a stylish, violent bastard, they say, leaving the streets covered in bloody stains with fresh blood dripping off the blade. Headshots at close range, so don't even try. Dodge the flame. Who inherits the pain on a crooked path trying to pull yourself straight? Cause everything on this planet has its price, while getting high as a kite. Been in plenty brutal fights where both individuals lost their lives. Attacked with sharp daggers and knives. I'm one of a kind, living in these unforgettable times. Surrounded by horrible crime, watching Satan creep inside the fragile minds, making a place to reside, working on your demise. Open up that third eye and see straight through all the motherfucking lies, feeding all the pride in the dungeon, in the underworld, learning all these deadly rhymes.
Do you always use a 38? Do you always?
I either use a 38 or I use a 32.
What about bodies floating in the river? What about garroted bodies?
No, I don't have nothing to do with them things. No, I don't play that game. I told you that.
Others play that game. Others in your line of work.
Yeah, well, you get some people, they're a little more vicious. So, you know, they like to, you know, do things that they shouldn't do. To me, you're supposed to hit a guy, hit him, and forget about him.
And the best way to do that is with a 38. At what range?
Between 3 and 4 feet. About the distance you and I are right now.
Right. That's the preferred distance.
Yeah. See, right here, where I am now, there ain't no way in the world I can miss any of your vital spots.
Do you have a preferred spot?
Yeah, the back of the head. But if I'm looking at you, the front of the head.
That's a good cue for a commercial if I ever heard one, Joe. We'll be right back.
This whole thing is pure and simple respect. Respect is everything. Because without respect, you're not a man, you're a piece of... Draw the blood.
This is our life. This is how things are in the Cosa Nostra.
We've never, as Irishmen, sat down and took an oath. We don't do that. We just honor amongst men. I mean, we didn't rat on each other.
Before Valachi, there was nobody talked. They'd rather take a bullet or a baseball bat in their head.
Double-crossing, double-dealing, violence up to and including murder.
Don't need no form of advice from any person that lacks control on the mic. Talking about that vision that's not in my sight. Seen the inside of prison life, slept amongst irritating lice. You're getting shanked with a prison knife, surrounded by murderous types, all trapped in this third world hustle. Amongst untamed animals in a concrete jungle, any man can die and crumble, stumble and fall on his face, regardless of your color and race. Any person can get stabbed with a blade. Don't remember my name, part of my brain's fried from doing drugs at a young age. We all trapped in a mental cage, speaking in a primitive way. Been gangbanging since back in the day. Fuck minimum wage, I'm willing to put a hit on your head to get physically paid. Like Italian mobsters with Tommy guns and bullets I spray. Got that Lucky Luciano hooligan face. On the mic I murder the snake, dissect the words on the page. Stimulation that was made for the great. Eating on this humble cake before acting brave. So many weird looking audio slaves turning upside down in my grave. Fuck the fortune and fame. All your rhyme schemes are out of date. Your cadence is out of place. Please get the fuck out of my way. Welcome to the planet of sexual perverted apes. Butt naked rocking a cape. I'm here to save the day, slowly decay. Take LSD and start acting strange. Watching my physical state fade away. Press the buttons and navigate into outer space. I behold the pearly gates. We all make fucked up mistakes when it's time to take a break.
I knew my days were numbered. He was not going to allow me to go on and have this over his head.
If you're a member of La Cosa Nostra, the only way you could get out, that's what they tell you, is just speak first.
Chicago in the roaring 20s, a town of unending parties, unlimited booze, and unrelenting violence. Behind much of that action was one man. They called him Scarface, Al Capone, the most powerful man in the underworld. Back in the 20s, Al Capone lorded over a criminal empire worth hundreds of millions of dollars. For a time, he virtually ruled all of Chicago. Capone's power came from his mix of generosity and brutality. He was willing to pay off anyone who could help him and murder anyone who wouldn't.
Like Al Pacino in Scarface, sniffing big lines of Peruvian coke. Next morning, got that blood gushing out your nose, strapped with a Tommy gun under my coat. I stuck to that strict mafia code. Like Nosferatu, I emerged from the smoke. Mob bosses strangles and choke, decapitate the head of the goat. Racketeering underground is where I smuggle the dope. Ransacking your family's home, take you outside and slice your throat. Haunting the neighborhood like a demonic ghost, so please watch your fucking tone. Feds got many ways to tap your phone. Metal detectors that can scan straight through your bones. Trapped in a deadly zone, so much paranoia you can't even trust your family and foes. Cold chilling on my throne, watching my lyrical stamina grow into a humongous force, while having conversations with the Dark Lord. Slicing heads with my sharp sword, I send bodies to the morgue. Seen plenty immaculate broads sucking dick for sport. Dirty cash money be the income, of course. My mind teleports beyond the average Joe, ripping out every single bone, fucking up your balance. I was trained amongst criminal felons. Guns and drugs is what we sell it. From 38 specials to Mac 11s, cracking your melon. Snitches be telling the truth, overloaded with too many rats in the booth. Secret agents planting bugs in his tooth. FBI be watching you every move, working on your demise, surrounded by wise guys and so-called friends who backstab and lie. Detectives try to solve all the methods to my crime, so don't even try. With the ice pick I will shank you in your fucking eye for stepping out of line.
How did you kill him?
I walked up behind him and I shot him in the back of the head.
Why did you kill him?
Because I was paid.
Do you know what he did?
I didn't ask. It was none of my business.
Who hired you? Not the name of the man. I mean, was it an organization?
Part of an organization, yes.
Did they tell you why he was going to die? You didn't ask?
No. It was none of my business. You ain't supposed to ask. They offer you a job. You take the job, you do it. You don't take the job, you don't do it.
I guess there's a man named Joey. He, by his own admission, has murdered 38 people. He was a paid killer, a hitman for the Mafia. Joey's the author of the recently published book, Killer.
They make their living by murder. They're mob hitmen. This is their handiwork.
All we did was just hunt people to kill them.
No questions asked.
Hey, orders are orders.
For the hitman, the mob takes precedence over everything.
People in La Cosa Nostra understand that if a person needs to be murdered, he gets murdered, and that's business.
But the hitman often lives at the very edge of death himself.
If you screw up, you're going to get whacked.
And every mob hitman carries secrets that are priceless to the government. Secrets that can do in even the most ruthless Mafia Don.
He says, you're gone. And that's when I decided to turn.
As a young buck, I've been told, like good fellas, never rat on your family and foes. With a baseball bat, I'm breaking your nose before I strangle your throat and disappear like a ghost. Back into the Tommy gun smoke. I got that French connection dope from overseas. Got that Italian hitman for hire who settled the beef. During 1 week, more than 100 bodies need to drop dead like flies up on the streets. So high you can't even fucking reach. Don't even try to compete with a man-made beast. Real train killing machine who barely speaks. With a crowbar I'm cracking in your pretty teeth. Sometimes mob ties and vital information leaks straight through the cracks. Living in this organized criminal world that became my natural habitat. Like Gotti, I'm rocking stylish coats and mink hats. Racketeering and selling smack, love pushing wigs back. With a 32 I'm always strapped, ready to attack. With precise, deadly precision. This mobster lifestyle is like a modern day religion. Always on a bloodthirsty mission, chopping off heads. You bitch made, that's why you enjoy singing to the feds. Like the Godfather, you will awake in your bed with a decapitated horse's head. Then cut you up into tiny pieces and stash you in a wooden box up in a shed. I'm delivering the message of death, so you better watch your fucking steps.
Turncoats like Nick Piramonde, John Vesey, and the Colettis are much more common today than they were even 20 years ago. Thanks to hitmen ratting out, the older generation of gangsters, those who survived the street battles, are mostly behind bars. Ironically, these law enforcement successes are partly to blame for the vicious behavior of today's mobsters. According to police, the new generation of mafia hitmen respects few, if any, of the old rules. Gangsters' families have become targets, a practice that would have been unthinkable even among the toughest mafiosi a couple of decades ago.
Machine guns you can carry.
By the mid-century, American mobsters are as famous as the movie stars who play them. Men like Al Capone, Bugsy Siegel, and Lucky Luciano are not only gangsters, they're legends. Hollywood turned them into movie stars. Television is bringing them right into our living rooms. That's the romance. The reality is very different. Extortion, numbers, murder. Life on the street is still a deadly business. Drugs will make it a dirty business.